Hello, dear students. Welcome to I-Fal. My name is Teacher Nikki, and I am here to have another video lesson with you. So I am so excited to talk about a new topic for you today that will help you understand and construct better sentences using the English language. I know that these lessons will be very helpful for you to communicate using the English language that are grammatically correct and properly constructed, considering that we will be talking about some grammar topics. So I want you to concentrate on our lesson today, pay attention to our sample sentences, and please practice them very well even after the class. So let's go ahead and start our lesson. Let's go. So for this lesson today, we will be talking about the second part of our prefix, okay? Now, for this one, what prefix should I use or should we use? So how do we know which prefix to use? Is there a rule for correct prefix utilization or affix utilization in general? So unfortunately, the answer to that is there is no rule as to which affix goes where. However, once you know the intended purpose of each prefix or their meaning, it's easy to add them. So it will be easier for you to identify which prefix you are going to use if you actually know the meaning or the purpose of each prefix. So once you know, for example, the prefix "n" means cause to be or put into, you can then apply these prefixes to a plethora of verbs, thereby increasing your vocabulary and overall proficiency in English. Okay, so actually, prefixes are fun to use, especially if you know the meaning. So you will be able to play along with your vocabulary, increasing your proficiency in your word usage. Okay, now, many common words such as able, slave, trust, reach, courage, dear, close, and circle can be turned into verbs by just adding the prefix "n." Okay, so "n" does indeed change the category of the word. So in this case, the prefix "n" would actually change the word form. Okay, now, like for example, we have here the common words. It's either they are adjectives or nouns. Okay, like for example, able. Now, if you want to convert it into a verb, okay, you add the prefix "n." Enable. Okay, you've enabled me to do anything that I want. Slave, enslave. Trust, interest. Rich, enrich. Courage, encourage. Dear, endear. Close, enclose. Circle, and circle. So, as you can see, your common words are adjectives or nouns. Then, if you add the prefix "n" to them, they become verbs. All right? So please take a look at some of the examples that I have given here for you. Okay? Moving forward, now, how to know which prefix to use if there's more than one? Good question. Now, correct prefix utilization is not easy. However, by knowing each prefix's rule, your language learning experience shall be immediately improved. The key to this lesson is showing you, the learner, the mechanics of prefix usage and how to apply prefixes to your words, to the words you use in English, right? If you've already been learning English for some time, now some prefixes, okay, will just sound more natural to you than others. And generally, this means that the more natural sounding prefix is usually the correct option. All right, so of course, with all the options that we have for prefixes, okay, now if you've been studying these, okay, definitely the more natural sounding prefix is the correct one for you. Okay, now, so prefix rules. Okay, let's see some example. So take for instance the prefix sub, which means above and under. Okay, which other prefixes can you think of that have a similar meaning? Not many. Well, maybe on, right? So the prefix on. But we use the prefix for negation and not for the above reasons. It's not for the meaning of above and under. So nevertheless, let's go through some newly made words with the prefix sub to see which is the best. So let's see some examples using sub. So let's see, merge, marine, category, continent, way, contractor. What sounds more natural to you? Okay, we have submerge or unmerge, submarine or unmarine, subcontractor or uncontractor. So I hope you said submerge, submarine, and subcontractor, which are more correct or correct than this one. So these options should sound like the best options for any English learner that has been submerged in the language for at least 6 months. Okay? So, on the other hand, correct utilization of prefixes is easier than correct utilization of suffixes simply because there are more options when it comes to suffixes. Right. But this that is a topic for our next lesson on suffixes, of course. Okay. Now, what kinds of words can prefix make? So generally, prefix don't determine a class of word. Okay, so commonly, not a noun, verb, adjective, adverb. That's a principal job of suffixes. So remember, prefixes don't actually change a lot, of the word category or form. So it's more of the suffixes. So far, a word to change the form to a verb or to an adjective, a new suffix needs to be added. So we also add suffix to that. So nevertheless, let's take a look at a few words that are using the same prefix throughout uh, all the different forms, so that you can see how one word can change into different words whilst the prefix stays the same. Example, here we have the inter. It means between. Okay, like for example, we have nouns, interchangeability. Okay, so we can also use interchange. Now for verb, we have interchange, an adjective, interchangeable, interchanging, and for adverb, interchangeably. So as you can see here, we use the prefix, but we also need the help of suffix to change the forms of our word, okay, of the word change. All right? Now, the same prefix inter was used to mean between, and it was used with different forms, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and even adverbs. Okay? Now, the prefix per se didn't alter the word. So actually, it's the suffix. Just like I said, we need the help of suffix. But this short example has shown you that you can use the same prefix to make different types of words while using the same stem or verb form. Ultimately, this makes your job easier, and eventually your English will become much more concise and articulate. All right? So I hope you find our lesson today very helpful. So as I always say, the secret in making your communication skills in English better is constant practice. So I want you to please keep on practicing all the lessons that we've had in the past and even this present lesson. So I know that you can do it really well and you'll improve yourself eventually. So just keep believing in yourself and practice more, okay? Now, please stay tuned to our more lessons here in I-Fal, and please visit our website that I will flash on the next screen. I also encourage you to please subscribe to our classes because we have a lot of amazing teachers that will help you and guide you in improving your English skills. So once again, this is Teacher Nikki. So I'll just see you again on the next classes and video lessons that we're going to have. I know that we will have more amazing lessons in the future. So stay tuned and good luck. Study harder and I'll see you next time. Bye.